I'm your host, Kelly Morgan, indie author and indie publisher. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. Welcome to today's episode. Hey everybody, Kelly here. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. So this month, we've been talking about the indie author journey. And so today I wanted to talk about the reality of being an independent author. And when I say reality, I mean the actual reality, right? I'm talking cost, time, reviews, content, tools, the learning curve, the pressure, the fact that you have a regular life while trying to do all of this. Because I think a lot of people decide to write a book, publish a book, and then call themselves an independent author without really thinking through what that can require. I know that when I started down this path, I had no clue. I was real quick to call myself an independent author and an independent publisher, and it dawned on me much later, I didn't even know what that meant. And I'm not trying to scare anybody off. I'm saying this because I really think we need to be honest, right? Being an independent author can cost money, right? So when I say money, I mean editing costs money. You know, cover design will probably cost you money. Formatting costs money. Purchasing author copies of your book costs money. Shipping costs money. Marketing costs money, right? And then there's all the tools, email platforms, design tools, website fees, scheduling tools, tools to create content. And now with the onset of AI, there's a whole slew of AI tools out there that you can create all this content. But guess what? It costs money, right? And it also costs time, right? Not just the time that it took you to write the book, and the time that it took you to learn how to publish the book, the time that it took you to learn how to upload everything. Because I don't know about you, formatting is a bitch. I can't stand formatting. I don't know how many times I tried to upload my book the first time to Amazon. I thought I was going to pull my hair out. That was time consuming. The time that it took to fix mistakes, not only fix mistakes, figure out how to fix the mistakes, the time to create content. And oh my God, that's a whole nother issue. What do I use to create the content? Do I use Canva? If I use Canva, do I know how to use Canva? That was a whole thing for me. The time to pitch a bookstore, pitch a book club, pitch a podcast, pitch a reviewer, pitch an event, the time to follow up, the time to keep talking about the book long after I'm tired of talking about it. And that part matters. Wow, because a lot of people think the hard part was writing the book. And sometimes the hard part is everything that comes after. And I think we learn as indie authors that the writing is the fun, creative part of this process, but everything else that comes can be incredibly hard. That is the reality. And the one thing of the reality of this journey forced me to understand, right, is that time equals currency. Your book equals currency. And I didn't think about time like that when I started. I thought about money, yes. And I thought about writing the book and I thought about publishing the book, but I didn't think time was money. And I didn't consider my book to be money either, right? But when you're actually in this space, you realize that time might be the most valuable currency that you have. Every email that you send, guess what, y'all? Takes time. Every post that you create takes time. Every pitch that you formulate to a book club, a bookstore, a podcast, a magazine, a Roku channel, takes time. Learning a new platform and all the rules takes time. Fixing the mistakes takes time. Figuring things out, period, takes time. And eventually you realize something really important. You can't be everywhere. You cannot do everything. You cannot chase every opportunity that someone tells you exist. And so I started thinking about my book as currency as well. Not just a book, not just a creative project, but something valuable, something that carries weight, something that should be used intentionally. But this is what the reality taught me. Reality also introduced me to something I had never even remotely thought about, y'all. That's burnout. Burnout is real, right? Depression can show up too. And that's the part of the journey that I don't think nobody talked about either, right? Nobody told me that I was going to be out here building by myself, sometimes putting out posts with no views, no hits, no likes, no nothing, heavy, heavy silence, burnout, depression, real things. Because when you are constantly putting yourself out there, constantly promoting your work, constantly getting people to notice something that you poured your heart into, that can weigh on you, y'all, especially when things don't move as fast as you hope they would. And then there's the emotional side, how reviews can mess with your head. Oh my God. I have had a bad review, right? It can just, ooh, it can take you there. It can really take you to your knees, right? And then silence can mess with you too, right? Sometimes people will read your book and absolutely love it. And those moments, oh my God, when those happens, congratulations, right? And then sometimes they won't get it, right? Sometimes you'll put something into the world that means a lot to you and you'll feel like nobody even saw it. And that's real. Then there's the content, right? Suddenly, you're not just a writer. You're expected to post, record, caption, show up, stay visible, keep people interested, and somehow still have enough energy to actually write. And if you work full time like I do, and if you have kids or have a business or other responsibilities, or just simply have a life, you already know that this is not small. Then there's the capacity, right? You might have the vision, but not the time. You might have the talent, but not the money. You might have the book, but not the energy to market the way that people say you should. And that doesn't mean that you're not serious. It means that you're a person. And I think that that's what authors need to hear more often. Being an indie/independent author is not just about writing. It's about figuring out what you can realistically carry, right? What you can afford. What can you learn? What do you need help with? What can wait? And what actually matters right now? Because if you don't ask yourself those questions, this industry will happily hand you a never ending list of things you're supposed to be doing. And that list will wear you out. Trust me, I have been there. Reality also forced me to recognize something else, that the industry can be predatory if you're not paying attention. Every time you step into the marketing side of publishing, there's someone promising visibility, someone promising success, someone promising results. Pay for this, advertise here. We make your book a bestseller. We'll get you in front of the right people. And when you're new to this space, it's real easy to believe those promises. But the reality is, not every opportunity is real, and not every space is meant for you. And that was a hard lesson for me. Understanding that every space isn't your space, not every platform, not every marketing strategy, not every opportunity someone tries to sell you, that realization can feel like a kick in the teeth, or better yet, a kick in the stomach, right? But it also teaches you something important. It teaches you limits, it teaches you boundaries, and it teaches you that time is currency. And it teaches you that protecting your energy is a part of protecting your work, right? So, I mean, when I talk about reality as being an independent author, that's what I mean. I mean understanding that this path asks something from you. Sometimes that might be money, right? Definitely is going to be asking you for time. Definitely, this space is going to be asking you for energy. It's going to be asking you for patience, 100%. And so, before you get too deep in your indie author journey, I think it's worth asking yourself one honest question, right? Am I prepared for what this might require from me, right? Am I prepared for what this journey might require from me? Not prepared to do everything, not prepared to be perfect, just prepared to be honest about what the path will ask and then what I can realistically give, right? And once you get honest about that, you can start to make better decisions, right? You can stop trying to do everything and be everywhere. You can stop feeling bad for not moving like somebody who has more time, more money, or more help. You can build your author journey around your actual life, not someone's version of what that's supposed to look like. Now, on Friday, we're going to talk about the other part of reality, not just what it costs to be an indie author, but how books actually move through the world. Because they do not move just because you posted about them. They move through people, books move through places, books move through relationships, and books move through opportunities. And that's what we'll talk about on BTA Fridays. All right, y'all, let me give you my laundry list of things before I let you go. And I said a lot, so I need some water. First of all, I've launched my curated introduction service. It's called TrustBridge. If you are someone who is looking for visibility, I have a partner network. It's called the TrustBridge Network. It is a network of book clubs, bookstores, and podcasts that I have curated and built over time. I will do the curated introduction. As a matter of fact, just to make it easy, I'll do all the heavy lifting, right? I'll do everything. I'll create the media kit. I'll do the follow-up. I'll do everything. To learn more about TrustBridge, go to the website, go to TrustBridge Author Services, learn all about it. If you are an indie author or not even an indie author, man, I always say that. If you are a creative in this space and you want to share the author's mic with me, go to my website, go to the Be a Guest tab, fill out the information. You are a guest. If you are on your author journey, I have a free guide on my website. It's called So You Want to Write a Book. Go get it, download it. It's free. If you want to support me, I've got two books out there. Wait for it, which is a audiobook as well as print, and then You Sound White. I sell them myself. I've got some free goodies. I'll sign them, but you can get them wherever good books are sold. And then I also have a book club. It's called the IRS. This is a two-part ask. You can join us as a reader. My goal for 2026 is to get the book club as big as I can. And not for myself, y'all, but when we do pick up an independent author's book, think of the eyes and impact we make on that author. Phenomenal. And then you can pitch us as an author. That could be your book that's getting those eyes in front of them, right? All right, you guys. And that's my laundry list. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. Go out and make it a great day. I know I will. We'll catch you next time.